Well met, well met. Hey, what's going on? It's Tech Maki, and this is my Vision series episode for Luneth. So, Luneth has essentially the same backstory as Refia. They were both on the airship as well as Ark. It departed from the surface, or the service world, and it runs into a huge storm that was being created by Zonda and him flooding the world with darkness. So as the ship goes into the storm, it goes down, and Luneth's parents are killed during the accident. So of course, Sid, maybe he's feeling guilty, a little bit remorseful since it was his airship that crashed. He takes Luneth and Ark to the village of where they are raised by the village elder, Topapa, and his wife, Nina. Now, due to the environment they were living in, Ark becomes Sid's childhood friend, his best friend, and he becomes a very bold, very blunt person. He just ends up telling it as it is, and he loves to adventure. So when he's 14, I believe he goes to the altar cave, and he's exploring the cave, and there's an earthquake, and so he falls through the ground. When he falls through, he ends up discovering the wind crystal, and the wind crystal there speaks to him, and it bestows upon him the glorious title of Warrior of Light, and instructs him he needs to find the other Warriors of Light. So after that, he returns to his village, and he tells Ark, and there's some altercation that happens between him and Ark, but either way they reconcile, and the Ark is actually then dubbed the second Warrior of Light, and they make their way to the village of Cassis, after of course going to Castle Sasuna and meeting Ignis, and they have to secure the Jin's curse, and like I said, they meet Refia on Sid's airship as they get to the village of Cassis, and that's pretty much where the story picks up the same as I did on my Refia video. So they beat Zonda, they cure the Jin's curse. Things happen. They run into the other crystals. They piece the water crystal back together. They kill Zonda. They beat the war or the cloud of darkness. Game over. So Luneth comes into the game as a 5-star character. He does get upgraded to 6-star, and he is a warrior. He fulfills the role of damage dealer, and his best stats are HP, MP, and attack. We're now going to move into his abilities, and he doesn't have a huge kit, so the list isn't that big, but it's a pretty strong kit nonetheless. His first ability is counter. It's counter physical attacks by 30%. Very nice skill. Next up is hit all. It's his only AoE. Physical damage to all enemies. Sword Master, which is a great passive, attack up by 20% with the sword equipped. Cut Through, which is a single target attack. Physical damage with ignored defense by 25%. And then we have the Pendant, which is a great passive. It's immunity to blind, paralyze, confuse, and petrify. And this is a great skill, especially on a damage dealer, because if you come up on events like, say, the Tower of Babel, where enemies were pretty determined to confuse your party, it's nice having that immunity to confuse, because I don't know how many times I've been through that tower or other events where your damage dealer gets confused and then proceeds to beat the ever-living shit out of your party. And you don't want to do that. You just geared your guy up, and you really want him to beat everyone else down instead of your own guys. And then of course it's nice having that blind and the paralyzed petrify immunity, because you don't want them to either be whiffing their attacks or be incapacitated due to those other ones. Either way, we then have auto refresh, which is great, so we can keep going in the fight to recover MP by 5% of his total every turn. Then we have advance, which is attack up by 60%, defense down by 30%, lasts for 3 turns. This is great for prepping big moves if you're getting ready to use your limit break, or you're trying to do some spark change or something. And then we have dual wield, and this is, I want to say, one of his best abilities in his kit. This is what really sets him apart as a 6-star from the other 6-stars. He can equip 2 weapons, excluding bows and harps, even though the harp thing is kind of inaccurate, because technically if he could put on Ariana's weapon, he could, I think that's why they changed the text in it. But either way, this is really great. Like I said, he can equip 2 weapons, so his damage goes up however much however strong that next weapon that you can put on him. It's a great boost to his attack. Next up, we have his Trustmaster reward. It's an 8-star accessory called the Celestial Glove, and it has attack, magic, defense, spirit plus 30. Just a flat 30 for all stats. This is really good for hybrid characters, and you can stick it on anybody else that you want to just give them that 30 attack. Next up, we have his Limit Burst, and it's called Strong Heart. Physical damage and defense down by 30%, so it's a little break. And 30% is base limit break level 1. Maxed out, it's 54%. Great debuff, lasts for 3 turns. Next up, we're going to move into the Espers, and I chose 2 Espers for him. First one's going to be a Frit, and the next one is Diablo. So Frit, of course, if you want that raw power, and then if you want to make sure that you're going to mess up some humanoids, you have Diablos with the Maneater. Moving into the builds, we really don't have that many builds for him. He's kind of like Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh being the one-trick pony, it's just go out and hurt people, and that's pretty much what Luneth does. He just goes out and hurts people. So, like I said, we don't have that many builds for him. The first one is the free-to-play build. It's called Ur's Halcyon. It comes in with attack at 543, HP at 550 or 4,576. You're going to slap on the enhancer. And if you don't want to use the enhancer because you're putting it on a mage and you're trying to utilize Letter of Arms, you can always use a Blood Sword if that's not on your tank, or something lower. You can even slap on, I think there's a Fire Sword that we got from the Brave Frontier banner. That's actually a nice replacement if you're trying to go for that whole fire build, especially looking at Chira, if you have access to that, which I believe was one of the event rewards or recipes during the Final Fantasy Tactics banner or collab. Either way, if you don't have Chira, you can always downgrade that to the next strongest katana, or if you're watching this video after the Gilgamesh trial, you can always slap on Gilgamesh's sword on there. It'll be better than the Sakura Fubuki. Then we have the Tiger Mask, Black Belt Gi, a Hero Ring, and in the next spot you could put another Hero Ring if you want to, but I think the Unusual Artifact would be a better choice, as it has plus defense of 15 besides the plus 15 attack, and it has 5% I think on the HP. This is also, I tested between that and a Hero's Ring, and they both come out to being the same attack at base stats. That's with no pots. So like I said, this is probably a better piece, but once you enhance the pots, you probably want to upgrade this to an actual Hero Ring because it will have better gains on the attack. Then for the materia slots, you're going to slap in 4 attack plus 10%. And with max pots, like I said, you can switch out the Unusual Artifact for a Hero's Ring, and that will have 5,063 HP, and your attack goes up to 612. I think this is pretty strong for free-to-play build. This can carry you a pretty long way through most of the fights. Next up, we have the first pay-to-play build, which is called Light of Courage, in homage of his Warrior of Light title. It comes in with 5,845 HP and 770 attack. You'll be utilizing the Moonblade, so you can get the most out of his sword mastery. Sakura Fubuki, which of course is going to be tied to the blade mastery as a materia. You have Black Cowl, Brave Suit, and then Double Bracer. Power of Creation, Seal of Destruction, and a Lunge combo. I decided to go with each of those so that you can up your HP a little bit and you can up your defense a little bit in case those two things worry you. And then with max pots, of course, you want to focus your HP and you want to focus the attack. After that, you can work on the rest of them. You can get your defense up pretty decent. He's kind of almost a mini tank, and his attack goes up to 879. Now, I want to note you can get his attack up higher. As I said, these are always with base Frit or base Esper stats, but you can get his attack up to I think 900 with double Inferno or Infernal Armlets, which was Demon Rain's TM from the Halloween banner. If you have access to those and you got 2 Demon Rains, that is the best way to up his attack, but you're going to drop your HP, just forewarning. Either way, moving into his arena build is called the Fury of and this one's actually pretty strong. The gears switched around, or not the gear, but the materials are switched around a little bit, but it comes in with 6,567 HP, 230 MP, 610 attack, your defense 251. Again, you're going to use the Moonblade, and you're going to use Deathbringer as opposed to Sakura Fubuki, so that you can get Maneater out there. You can stack that with Diablos, get that 100% Maneater. Then you're going to have the Black Cowl, Brave Suit, double bracers, 2 Melody of Life so that you can mitigate his light resistance in case you run into anybody who has Excaliburs or another light-based weapon. And also, this will work out really nice for the rest of the elements. You're going to give him even increased resistance, so he should do pretty well versus some mages, unless they're using like Meteor or Ultima or something. And then you're going to have HP plus 30%, so that you can up his HP, so you know, in case you run into that strong party, and of course somehow the computer decides to just wreck you, you don't die right off the bat. And then you're going to have Lunge Combo for a little bit more defense, a little bit more MP, and of course the attack gains. And then with the full potted out setup, you're going to have 7,269 HP, 302 MP, 674 attack, which I think is pretty good for the arena, especially with the 100% Maneater trait. And yeah, you should be able to do pretty well. And again, you can switch out those bracers for the Infernal Armlet if you're really trying to maximize attack, but I would definitely stick with the bracers, in my opinion, because you definitely want more HP in the arena. Anyway, if you have any questions about the builds, or you want to make any comments, suggestions, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section down below. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see future Vision series or whatever else I'm putting out, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And again, I am a Twitch streamer, so you can see me on Twitch. With that though, I hope you enjoyed the video, and Maki out.